A lot of people turn to face some difficulties in their life, especially when they're in their 30s or their 40s. Now, I want you to understand that these people do not plan that life should happen to them that way. It was as a result of some minor mistakes they made in their 20s that turns to affect their life once they got into their 30s. That's why it's really important. I want everybody that come across this video to watch the video so that you can learn from these mistakes, avoid them so that it will not affect you later on in life, especially if you are in your 20s. Hey there, welcome to another video. My name is Acho Umunifo Brandon. My goal here is to educate, to motivate and inspire people to do the things that inspire them. If you are a new viewer, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning subscriber, please make sure you hit that thumbs up because all these things are really going to help me hack the YouTube algorithm. Without talking too much, let's jump straight into the video. The first mistake a lot of people fail to make when they're in their 20s is not taking risks. Now, when I talk about risks, I'm not talking about doing things that will put your life into danger, but I'm talking about taking calculated risks, like moving from where you were born from one city to another because you want to search for a better life for yourself, or quitting your job because you want to dedicate some time to learn a skill. This is so important because in the course of all this moving and doing different things, you might really find something that really resonates with your soul, that you are passionate about, and you can use it to make your fortune out of life. The reason why it's so important to take these risks in your 20s is because once you get to your 30s, your chances of taking risks are very low. You cannot just move from one city anymore to another city because now you might have bills to pay, you might have mortgage to pay. So also, some people turn to now have kids, which you cannot just abandon them in one geographical area and move to another area. But if you are in your 20s, this is a time for you to try new things. Try to figure out what works for you best, so that once you get into your 20s, you are focused on building the things you have discovered rather than spending your 30s trying to discover new things. The second mistake a lot of people make in their 20s is not saving money. Now, this is no doubt. Some people, when they're in their 20s, they tend to make a lot of money because that's when you are at the strength of your peak. You have that energy to do a lot of work. Now, once you are making this money, you think you are too young to save money and you use this money to party, to buy shoes, drive luxurious cars. But saving at an early age is one of the best things you can do in your life. If you start saving when you are 20, once you get to around 30, you have been saving maybe for 5 years, and you will now have a lot of time to enjoy the eighth wonder of the world, which is what we call compound interest. So saving is very important. It don't have to be something big, no matter how small it is. Always try to save a portion of your monthly income because that's really going to help you later on in your life as you grow older. Another mistake a lot of people make in their 20s is neglecting their health. I'm sure we have all heard about this. Health is wealth. Now, once you are in your 20s, it's very easy to think that because you are at the prime of your life, you can just do anything and get away with it. They think they could just drive speed cars the way they want to drive it, then think every challenge they see on TikTok, they can just try it, or they don't take out time to exercise, they don't have enough sleep, not knowing that these things might not be hurting you in the present, but in the long run, it might tend to hurt you. Just imagine yourself breaking a body part because you are taking a random challenge on TikTok. Also, another common thing is when people are in their 20s, they tend to consume a lot of junk food, taking a lot of sugar. But what they fail to understand is this: you cannot be young forever. The same strength you have now to lift some weight in the gym is not the same strength you will be having at 35. If you cannot maintain yourself to keep a fitting body, to maintain a good body shape in your 20s, it's going to be even more difficult to maintain your body shape when you turn 35. So it is very important to consider your health. Do things that are healthy to yourself. Don't put yourself in any kind of risk because you think you are too young and you could just do anything and go away with it. The fourth mistake a lot of people make in your 20s is not taking the time to invest in themselves. Once you're in your 20s, it's enough time to learn a skill. And if you start learning the skill in your early 20s, by the time you get to your mid-20s, you already have a lot of experience in that field or in that business. But rather, a lot of people, when they're in their 20s, then tend to start doing unskilled jobs. Now, you will be making a lot of money, but you need to realize that this money you are making now will not be enough at a certain point in your life. The more you grow older, the more you have responsibilities. By the time you turn 30, you have more responsibilities, and these responsibilities will require you to have a lot of money to take care of these responsibilities. The problem we're facing is you might not have a skill to start making a lot of money. Sometimes you might have the skill, but you don't have the experience needed to earn a lot of money in that field, just because you do not take your time in your 20s trying to build up those skills. So it is very important, if you are in your 20s, your early 20s or your mid 20s, use this as an opportunity to build yourself up, to learn a skill, to gain experience in the business, in the job market, or whatever you want to do, because this is really going to help you as you grow older in life. The fifth mistake a lot of people tend to make in their 20s, and I am a victim of this mistake, is not taking that time to create networks, to connect with people. I'm sure you've heard of the saying, your net wealth equals to your network. The people you know will determine how much you earn. Once you're in your 20s, this is the time to build that network. Connect to people, go to internships, do voluntary service, because this will give you an opportunity to meet and connect with a lot of people. Because it's going to come to a point in your life when it doesn't matter. People will not care about what you know, but who you know sometimes is very important. And this is not something of just the country where you come from. This is a thing of every country. There are places that before you get into, it don't matter how much knowledge you have, it don't matter how educated you are, but who do you know that is in that place? That's what will give you the pass to get in that place. And if you spend your time, your early years doing these services, connecting and knowing a lot of people, once you get to this stage, things are going to be easier on your side, because sometimes it's only going to take a phone call to put you in a position that you want to be there. The sixth mistake a lot of people make in their 20s is not setting good habits. Now, I believe everybody who is in their 20s must know the differences between a good and a bad habit. But it's rather unfortunate that it's easier to adopt the bad habit and practice them rather than, adopting the good habit. So when we talk about good habit here, I'm talking about things like going to the gym, eating healthy, reading books, and many more. I believe you know a lot of these things. If you don't identify and start practicing some of these good habits when you are in your 20s, by the time you turn 30, it might be difficult to start practicing this habit, even though you can really identify them at this moment that this is the right thing to do. But because you have not been practicing it in the past, it might be difficult to start adopting that habit. Although a research has shown that it takes about 60 to 90 days to practice a habit to that point where it becomes automatic. But in the reality, this thing is not as they say it in the books. It takes years to practice a habit and build that habit for it to become an impulsive something, to become an automatic something. Please try to identify the good habits that are going to build your life up, rather than those that are going to destroy your life, and start practicing them while you are in your 20s, so that by the time you turn 30s, you have already built this habit to that point where it has become an automatic system in your life. The seventh and the last mistake a lot of young people make in this video is this: they don't think long term. Their thinking is always short term. Now, you might be in your 20s and you think you have a lot of time to figure things out, and you start thinking only about the moment and careless about the future. But I want you to know that things does not really work that way. Before you spend all your money going to the club, traveling, buying expensive gadgets, I want you to ask yourself, how is this habit going to impact my life 10 years from now? And if you analyze yourself, you realize the negative impact are more than the positive impact, then you need to know that this is the time to stop practicing that habit. And one thing you see people doing is, once you see them practicing this habit, you try to talk to them and try to educate them about the future. They'll tend to tell you that don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to take care of itself. Let me shock you. Tomorrow is not going to take care of itself. Tomorrow has its own problems, its own worries, its own pain waiting for you to come and fix it. And if you don't fix your problems of today, you carry the problems of today into tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to damage your life. Tomorrow is going to break you so badly. So if you want to prepare for a better future for yourself, you need to start now. Take away this ideology of tomorrow is going to take care of itself. Tomorrow is waiting for you to come and take care of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from this video, and if that was the case, give a thumbs up to the video and share the video so that other people can watch and learn from this mistake. God bless you. Peace.